Malwen guys ndibuyile with regards to into CweCwe. What can we do? What's the next step? Is there a petition we can go sign? Is there a GoFundMe? As of right now, I don't know if there's any petition, but if there is, I'm there. I'm signing it. And I'll bring the link to you guys so that you guys can also sign it. But for now, I don't know anything. I do know, though, that Umama Wake has made her banking details available for people who would like to donate. And the donations would actually go quite a long way because she might have to, like the parents might have to sell the house and the car in order to be able to afford legal fees for the situation, and we don't want that to happen. So if you want to make a contribution to the family for like stuff like legal fees and other things that they may need, I'll stick a picture in this video. These are not my banking details. Not a single cent will come to me, and it's going straight to account kamama wakhe unanzika mntwana. And yes, guys, masidibaneni. Let us come together and let us fight this, because asoze tusithule. We will not be shut. We will not shut up.
Dimile Kweliti, as society, we honestly don't deserve any more children, because we've proven time and time and again that we don't know how to protect them. I have recently come across a story about a little girl by the name of CweCwe, a 7-year-old girl who was brutalized and violated at school. And I'm using these words because that's exactly what happened to her. Following this tragedy, DNA samples were taken from all men that were assumed to have been in close proximity when this happened, and for some odd reason, the principal of the school refuses to have his DNA taken. I'm making this video to request from the very bottom of my heart that we rally around and support ifemile kaCweCwe as they face these difficult times. And in the we cannot let these people get away with hurting umntana wethu.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Golden Sanctuary. Today we need to talk about something incredibly important: justice for CweCwe. If you are not familiar with her story, please stay tuned, because this is a case that demands our attention and action. In a moment, I'll play a clip from TikToker Jax_Amahle, who has broken down the situation in detail. She'll explain everything you need to know about what happened, and I'll tell you why this case matters and why we need to stand together to demand justice.
One of my favorite lines in Game of Thrones is "The night is dark and full of terrors," right? What it symbolizes for me is the world that we live in. It feels like we live in a world where good hardly prevails, where we are in a constant battle with evil. How it feels like there's rarely any justice in the world, And the reason this line popped into my head is because this morning I've been researching justice for CweCwe. I received a lot of comments on different videos about the story, and like I imagine many people in the country, I didn't know what the story was about, but I have since found out, right? And so a mother from Matatiela in the Eastern Cape is seeking justice for her child who was essayed at school, right? So the story goes, she was supposed to be picked up from school by her school transport. Her school transport was late. The school caretaker then says, "Kanete, please help me out and just sweep one of these classrooms." Whilst she's sweeping this classroom, she starts to feel drowsy out of nowhere all of a sudden. And she essentially passes out, because she then wakes up when the caretaker is tapping her on the shoulder to let her know that the school transport has arrived. She gets home, she's complaining of a stomach ache, and she's struggling to walk, but her parents think nothing of it. They think maybe she has a stomach bug or a flu. Children are sick all the time. Your immediate thought wouldn't be that your child has been essayed. This problem persists, and her parents take her to the doctor, where the doctor confirms that she has been essayed front and back. And so the family then takes the necessary steps to ensure not only the safety and care of their child, but to make sure that whoever has committed this heinous act against their child is brought to justice. So they go open a case, they go to the cops, they admit their child for counseling and trauma, etc., etc. So why do we have a problem? Number one, the person who has essayed this child has not been identified. Number two, the school and the school principal, so the SGB and the principal, have been essentially of no assistance. In fact, resisting helping, bring justice to the forefront for this child, right? It is apparently said that the child could have only engaged with 3 people. That would be the caretaker, the school transport person, and the principal. The principal has refused to give his DNA and then took it a step further by expelling this poor child. So now you are not only giving support to this family, you take it a step further, you then punish the survivor for this act that has been committed against them. Anyway, as I was reading up on it this morning, it seems to me that only one political party has acknowledged this incident, and that would be the UDM. They released a statement recognizing the incident, extending support to the family. One more thing that I forgot is that the Department of Education has now decided to close the school because the principal and the SGB in general are not cooperating with the police. And so they felt that, well, this is not a safe place for children to be in, which I agree with. But what the UDM then pointed out is that that is not enough. Okay, we need justice for this poor child, because they have also called out SAPS on, delaying this case. This case was opened last year for delays in this case, and have called on SAPS to expedite this case so that this family can also see justice served, heal, and move on from this unfortunate incident. So that is why I am doing this video. It is to bring awareness to the situation, so that hopefully maybe it can get into mainstream media, and so all the relevant stakeholders can feel pressure to, solve this case, find the perpetrator, put them in jail, and give justice to this family and justice to CweCwe. So there's also a petition. You can Google it. Just Google Justice for CweCwe. When I signed this morning, there was about 8,000 signatures. We obviously need to get more people to sign on so that the right amount of pressure can be applied, not only to the government, but to the police, to, mainstream media, to avail themselves and make the story known, so that I'm losing my words. I don't know what to say, guys. Imbi, man, imbi. Yeah. So sign the petition, galvanize and lobby support. Use that energy that you have for Big Brother for some good. Thanks.
CweCwe is her nickname. That's what her family calls her. On the 14th of October, her transport was running late to pick up her and 4 students that commute with her. In the meantime, the caretaker told her to help by cleaning her classroom. While sweeping, she got tired. The last thing she remembers is smelling something burning. She couldn't recall the violation done against her. The caretaker woke her up and told her that her transport had arrived. On the 16th of October, she was in severe pain, constantly going to the loo but unable to defecate. Her bum was pushed back and she could barely walk. Her mother asked her to kneel on the bed to check her, and what she saw was horrifying. CweCwe's anus was wide open. She calls her husband, who also realized what had happened, and they immediately took her to the hospital. The GP confirmed their worst fears. Their daughter was R-worded. They checked the front as well and found that she had been penetrated from both ends. The family was forced to sell one of their cars to cover hospital bills after their medical aid could no longer assist. Medical bills continued to pile up. As you can imagine, CweCwe developed infections because her anus was still open. Doctors and her mom removed feces from her body to relieve her constipation. After that, things started flowing but that meant every time she needed to go to the loo, she had no control and everything would just flow out. She suffered from severe infections due to her little body reacting to the semen inside of her, and this was an incredibly traumatic experience for the 7-year-old girl. To help her cope, she had to start seeing either a psychiatrist or therapist. The trauma didn't stop with her. It deeply affects her mother and father as well. This entire situation has started taking a toll on her parents' marriage. Despite this horrific crime, no one has been arrested yet. The caretaker and taxi driver have cooperated with authorities with providing their buccal samples. However, the school's principal refuses to provide his DNA to the authorities, which is why this petition is so crucial. He even tried to silence CweCwe's mom by telling her to stop spreading rumors because his staff and school's reputation were at stake. He also expelled CweCwe from Bergview College. To make matters worse, AfriForum, a predominantly white political party here in South Africa, is protecting him, and yes, you guessed it right. The principal is a white man. CweCwe is now studying at another school in another town, trying to heal from this tragedy. Meanwhile, justice has yet to be served. I've pinned the link to the petition in the comment section below. Signing is simple. You just need to enter your name, surname, city, and select your country from the drop-down menu. Every signature matters, so please take a moment to add your name. I submitted my signature last night, and after submitting, you'll receive an email. You need to confirm that it was you who signed the petition, and you'll get a second email confirming your submission. Make sure to check your inbox to complete the process. Beyond signing, you can also support CweCwe's family financially. Every contribution helps them with legal fees and other expenses. I'll display the banking details on the screen for those who would like to donate. Please screen grab this. 2 days ago, I watched CweCwe's mother's interview on the Hope Revolution podcast, and I found myself crying. Her words, her pain, and her strength took me on a roller coaster of emotions from frustration to deep sorrow. If you have not watched it yet, I highly recommend watching. Be prepared because it is an emotional journey. I'll link it in the comments as well. Justice for CweCwe is not just a hashtag, it's a movement. It's about making sure her story is not forgotten and holding those responsible accountable. Let's stand together, sign the petition, donate if we can, and spread awareness. Thank you for watching, and let's continue to fight for justice. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.